So this session is a social media evangelization session with Ben Windsor. So Ben is the communications specialist at the Eparchy of Edmonton who coordinates the current communication strategy. He has a bachelor's of commerce degree with a major in marketing and was the previous president of the MacEwan University Marketing Club and communications director at St. Josephat Cathedral. So I'll let you take it away, Ben.
All right. Wow, what an introduction. I'm going to see. Right. So hopefully everyone can see the screen. I take that as a yes.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to immediately start right into it. So I have a website. I'm not sure if someone could write this in the chat. It's actually right here. eparchy.com/unity. It's actually a custom page. If you're going to do anything today, even if you leave immediately, perfectly fine. But that web page, it contains a draw for some Ukrainian Catholic items. What I'll do is I'll just choose someone at random, and I'll ship you guys out some little interesting books, some stuff to help grow and develop your faith. So you just leave your name, your email, so I can contact you and what eparchy you're from. The webpage also has some extra articles and ebooks that I'll bring up on Ukrainian Catholic social media, some key takeaways if you fall asleep, perfectly fine. An anonymous sending thing, if you're too shy to speak or to write in the chat, perfectly fine. There's a little anonymous box where you can tell me, if you have any really cool ideas an eparchy or a parish could do to help evangelize, and you just don't want to put it in the chat today, that's perfectly fine. You can leave it on the page, and then at least I can hear some of your ideas. So yeah, just first off, thanks for coming. It's pretty great that people are here. We got 13 participants, so that's cool. And make sure to definitely enter for that draw. Just talk about who am I? I'm the comms guy at the Eparchy of Edmonton. I have a Bachelor of Commerce degree. I majored in marketing. I was president of the University Association. I used to work in business development. I'm a huge marketing nerd. So I'm one of the few guys out there that when I see a YouTube commercial, I'm like, yes, I get to watch a commercial and actually dissect and look at it. So that is my personal passion, is in, as odd as it sounds, but in advertising. If you do have any questions after anything, you can feel free, send me a message on my Instagram. It's right there, j.windsor. Also, I really like coffee, so that's just something fun about me. So I have a very strong belief in this. I think our Ukrainian Catholic faith is too important to be behind church doors. I think the message of Christ has it's changed the world. And I think to hide this message of Christ only to a certain place, I don't think that's an okay way to view faith. And I'm pretty bold with this, but the reality is social media, elections are won from social media. Social issues are addressed because of social media. Lives are saved, ideas are spread. Personally, I don't know a single modern movement today that is not spread without the help of social media.
Ben,
sorry, yep. I'm really sorry to interrupt. It's just that we've lost your PowerPoint.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, all good. Let's try this part too. There we go. Is it back?
We are back.
Perfect. Is it still working? Perfect. So with that, even though, sometimes social media, it sometimes has a bad rap, the reality is social media is the world is at. And if the world is at there, that's where the message of Christ needs to be. So kind of ignoring social media is ignoring a huge opportunity we have as a church. So I've kind of split up the presentation just to 4 things. How do we speak online? How do we picture online? How do we talk online? What do we want online? A lot of this is actually rooted in, of course, marketing theory, psychology. We have a whole bunch of research back evidence that our eparchy and our local archdiocese that we teamed up and we did. So I'm not going to go into the boring stats, but these are some of the key takeaways with everything. So at the end of the day, whether you're talking about TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, the rules apply to all of them. Speaking, picturing, talking, and the wants are exactly the same. It's just depending on the medium, it's going to be slightly different. So Instagram is going to be more picture and video focused. Facebook is a bit more text focused. TikTok is 100% video, and so on and so on. So example, I like looking at ads, right? I'm boring. So to really talk, kind of use some parallels, I have just 2 examples of an advertisement. Here is a microphone. So this microphone you can get on Amazon. It's like $100, really cheap for a microphone. And the main audience this microphone is trying to talk to is someone who is new to audio recording, right? There's probably their first time they're going to get a mic. They're not going to drop over $1,000 on a microphone, right? They just want something to try out. So we have 2 descriptions, one that talks about features and one that talks about the why. So the first one here, a USB microphone with cardioid and omni pickup patterns, supports sample rates to 24-bit, no latency headphone output, 4 processor with gain control. I'm not sure about you. I'm not too big in audio, but I have no idea what that means. I don't know what cardioid and omni is. I don't know what sample rates are. I don't know what no latency or 4 processor with gain control is. Like that's a lot of words I have to research to find out what is that? What does it mean? I'm really confused. Versus the one on the right, it's not talking about features. It's talking about why. So it's dealing with why would you be interested in this microphone? And the reason why people are interested in, it's usually because they heard maybe a podcast and they really want like a deep voice or, you know, that really high quality audio. They want something like that. They want something that they can afford, right? So first one, and they want something that's easy to use. So, because they don't understand how to use mics. So this one, it's find your perfect radio voice your podcast needs with this affordable, easy to use, and the most up-to-date features. So I know it's kind of, I'm talking about advertisements, but these are 2 things. One talks about features, one talks about why. There is a reason that you would use features, but when we're talking about our parishes, we can apply the same idea, features versus why. So we have, this is straight off from Wikipedia. This is often on a lot of our parish websites sometimes. It's the UCC is a Byzantine Rite Eastern Catholic Church in full communion with a Pope in the worldwide Catholic Church. It is the 2nd largest particular church, sui juris, in the Catholic Church, second only to the Latin Church. It's part of the major archiepiscopal churches of the Catholic Church and not distinguished with a particular patriarchal title. So that's straight from Wikipedia. When you're talking to a new crowd of Catholics, or you're talking to someone who may go to church once a year, or someone who's never been or experienced our faith, they're probably going to have no idea. What is a UCC? What is a Byzantine Rite Church? What role does the Pope play? What's sui juris? What's archiepiscopal? Like they won't know what these words mean. But if you don't talk about the features and you talk about the why are people drawn to our faith? Why are people interested in? What vocabulary can we use that can reach everyone? So an example here is let's work together to grow our faith in Christ through a unique ancient expression of our Ukrainian Catholic faith. Find your mission in Christ this Sunday by joining us at a 10 o'clock service. Those words are so simple, so straightforward, and yet anyone on the street will have a complete understanding what those mean. Next time they're thinking about, hey, you know, like it's been a while since I've been at church, at least they know, hey, the Ukrainian Catholic Church, they have a service every 10 o'clock, right? So with that, so just moving my notes. So when you are talking to people who are new to our faith, don't talk about the features. So things like structure, organization, things like that, it's not going to be as effective as really digging deep. Why are people interested in faith? Why are people drawn to Christ? Why do people care about the good news? And really going off of that when you're talking about things online. Next one is how to picture, because in social media, pictures are often more important than the words. So it's really important to talk about pictures and how you picture things. So this is an example, another advertisement, but the main thing to take away is humans connect with humans. We are social creatures. Half of the word in social media is literally the word social. The other half is media. So with that, we need to provide media in terms of our own photos, our own videos, and our own stories. And we need to be social by responding to comments and talking on Messenger. And Messenger, whether it's the DMs on Instagram or on Facebook, Messenger is huge. I know for me, working at the Edmonton Eparchy, we directly bring people to church for the first time because we start conversations on Instagram, on Facebook. People message us and they say, hey, I'm looking at the Ukrainian Catholic Church. I'm thinking about going to a church. Not only do we respond with, hey, yeah, sure, but look at our list of parishes. We don't just do that. We say, hey, this Sunday, I'm going to be at St. Basil's Church. Do you want to come by? I'll introduce you to the church. I'll show you around. And then we ask, and could we send you a mail package if it's all right with you? That kind of gives you a little introduction to our faith and kind of shows you who we are as a community and how you can get involved. So messages is huge. And this is just an example done by Ocean Spray. I know in the marketing world, this is always the funniest thing because Ocean Spray advertisements for this cranberry thing, it's obviously a fake photo. It's made by a corporate company. It's pretty pushy. It's fake. It's a false expectation. When you see this photo, you know that's not what you're going to get in the store. Versus this TikTok someone made, where it's like a 10-second video. It was one of the most shared videos probably in world history. If you haven't seen it before, I did link it on the web page. But the reason why that resonates with more people is that's a human connection. It's something everyone can do and take part in. It's blurry, it's cheesy, it's kind of cringy, but it is real. And that's the big thing that people connect with. So taking as example, I took this from Dormition Parish's website here in Edmonton. Keep in mind, it's super important to picture things like our vibrant parishes. Yes, that's important, especially the outside, because if people are going to come to your church for the first time, they kind of need to know what the outside is like, right? But what's also important is showing the people, the experiences, how you're all joined together in prayer, right? As a Ukrainian Catholic Church, we're a community of people, not just structures. So as an example, we have Father Bo. I believe this is from a baptism, but it just shows a family having a baptism. It's something we all can take part in, right? And then the thing is, what do we talk about? Keep it simple. Don't use complicated vocabulary. That's the number one key takeaway. Evangelization reaches new people, people who have not been to our church before, people who may have only been to church maybe once a year. They come every Christmas, right? And even words like using the word divine liturgy. You may have noticed before I said, join us for a 10 o'clock service, not 10 o'clock divine liturgy. The reason why is because the majority of people outside of our Ukrainian Catholic community will have no idea what a divine liturgy is. I know talking to the youth my age who are not associated with the church have never heard that word before. But if you want to reach them, you have to use the words they do. The number one thing is just don't talk like a robot. The way to ensure people feel unwelcome is by speaking in a language they don't understand. And as a example here on my personal Instagram account, I posted a photo. I was in Ukraine and I grabbed a photo of a church and I said, a really nice old lady showed me a postcard photo of a statue of the Virgin Mary in Spain. She felt so proud of it and always keeps it in a special wallet. I was blown away by how something so little made someone so happy. Really makes you think. The reality is, on my Instagram, almost everyone that follows me is not a Ukrainian Catholic. So the thing I posted does not have Ukrainian Catholic specific vocabulary. It is something that's an interesting story that people can connect with, they understand, and maybe they might eventually send me a message and, hey, I was wondering, do you go to church every Sunday? Could I come by with you one time, right? Because they understand what I'm saying. Another thing is, what do people want? So this is research-backed kind of evidence. It's brutally honest in some of its findings. So this is, keep in mind, this is local to Edmonton, research done in Edmonton. This is talking about what we found people want. So a whole bunch of surveys and focus groups were done. And the focus group signaled all participants have a general hunger to belong and be accepted. That's huge. Broken connections, feeling of being misunderstood, and not being accepted are key drivers in leaving the church. The majority of Ukrainian Catholic youth in Alberta feel welcome in their parish, but only half feel like they belong. So we need to really think about making people feel like they not only are welcome, but they also belong in our church. So as an example, one way you could do this is not by using members only vocabulary, right? So saying us, them, that whole us versus them, my church, join us, become one of us, our social teaching, and use community-based vocabulary, right? Like in one of those examples, I say, let's work together. We join us in mission, our shared core values, and talk about the reader. You don't just think about ourselves. Let's talk about who's reading it and address the reader itself. And as an example, we have various Catholic social teachings for the most part in Edmonton, whether you are religious, whether you're a Catholic, or you're not religious at all. A lot of these things resonate with the society as a whole. So the care for the poor, family foundation, support for family, care for environment, human life. These are things we can all talk about that for the most part, society generally agrees on. So finding those common ground issues, our shared core values, and really bringing that to the forefront of our Ukrainian Catholic faith. I know some people here are involved in social media for their parish or for their organization. We recently just launched the other week an initiative called Parish Hub at the Edmonton Eparchy, where it's a collection of administrative tools for youth ministry, for religious education, for my place, so fundraising and communications. It's got great templates, great ideas, great articles, great videos you can access. These are just 2 ebooks that I wrote. One is 2021 social media post ideas that you could do for your parish. I list our most successful, our best posts that resonated with our audience the most. And we also have 40+ parish outreach ideas. So this ebook specifically actually is probably closer to 70 or 80 different ideas. And I know I get this all the time. Hey, I don't want to do the whole internet thing. I just want to keep it classic, old school. That's fine, because half of it is traditional ideas. So half of it, you don't even need a computer. It's just completely what the more traditional. And of course, I have ideas for the more modern type of outreach. So whichever type you resonate with most, it's there. And then just as an example here, these are pretty classic posts that did very well on our Instagram. We just started our Instagram on Edmonton Eparchy, so make sure to give us a follow. But keep in mind, social media, the reason why people are on social media is, at least youth, a lot of the time is for memes. So being in the context of a church, it's okay to post memes. That's why people are on social media. And same thing with this. It's a blurry, kind of poor quality photo, but it's a real photo of our church and our community. And that's a really important takeaway is you don't need to always post these kind of fake staged photos that are high quality. Sometimes a nice, funny photo is what people are looking for, because that's why they're on social media. This is a quote by a vice president of marketing. Another big takeaway is don't push people to where you want them to be, meet them where they are. So this is huge. We should not be saying, come meet us at a specific building at a specific time for a specific purpose to hear the message of Christ. And let's use social media to start just saying the message of Christ online where people are at. And once we say the message of Christ, they might be inspired to actually come to our parishes and see who we are. But if we say, you got to come on this specific day and time, chances of them coming on that specific day and time are kind of not as likely. So just as a mini challenge for people in this chat too, if just to call you guys out, share what inspires you to love your neighbor as yourself on your social media, even if it's after this presentation. It doesn't need to be pushy. It doesn't need to be completely faith-based. Just talk about love and loving your neighbor, whether that's about your family, your literal neighbors, your friends. And if you'd like, you can tag us on the Edmonton Eparchy's social media accounts and we'll share it as well, just to show how much of a loving and caring community that we are as a church.